Hello, my name is Ryan Watkins, and I'm a professor at George Washington University. And I want to talk just a little bit about the sequencing of data collection and your needs assessment. The project that I'm building this experience on is with a global institution, and we are working with an entire region for the project. So not the entire globe, but a very large region at the same time. We are working specifically for a training and knowledge management unit within the institution, but our focus was much broader than just on training. So it was a very exciting needs assessment to work on. There are lots of lessons learned, but the one I want to focus on for this lesson is around how we did our data collection. For data collection, we were doing interviews. We interviewed both by phone and in person about 50 staff within the region. We also conducted a survey to broaden participation in the needs assessment. And we did focus groups to talk with a variety of people who could bring specific issues to the table. Some of the lessons that we learned was that the triangulation of data across these methods was very important, and that we learned things from each of the different methods that we otherwise would have missed. And what we tried to do was balance both the typical qualitative and quantitative type of analyses, as well as looking at what Roger Kaufman calls hard and soft data. Hard data being that which can be independently verified, and soft data which is perceptual. Both are important, but often we don't try to mix it. In a resource that I'll talk about at the end of the book, we have a nice little 2x2 quadrant to show how these get paired up and what types of methods fit into each of the cells. And we talked a lot about the sequencing of what we did and how that had benefits for the project. How we went from the interviews and learned what we could from those, and then that helped us design a more effective survey. And then based on what we learned from the survey results, we were then able to have very focused questions for our groups when we got together in the focus group sessions. The order probably could have been reversed. We could have used the focus groups to guide the survey design, and then had interviews to verify what we were hearing from the previous data collections, and to help us understand how it fits into the organizational context. That translation of data into the context is very important. So I think these lessons can be applied that when you are doing a needs assessment, it's very important to plan for where you're going. Think about the questions you are trying to answer at the end, and what sequence of data collection is going to help you get there. And you have to learn throughout the process. If we had designed a survey at the beginning, it would have been a very different survey than when we did after doing some of the interviews and having a much better understanding of some of the challenges that the organization was facing. But it's important to also maintain your alignment across the methods. So again, you don't want to lose focus on where you're going and what the big picture is. So that way when you look at the data, you can compare apples to apples to apples rather than apples to bananas to pears. If you'd like to learn more, we have a book called A Guide to Assessing Needs. It was published by the World Bank in 2012. And again, we talk about the hard and soft data versus the qualitative and quantitative data, as well as some other methods for looking at ways to collect data other than just surveys, interviews, and focus groups. Thank you very much.